Okay, let's actually go down the line, folks, and so you have a chance to tell us who everybody is, just in case somebody else is not out there. Just give a chance, and we also do a mic check. Okay, so if you have a chance, start off with you, Russ.
Russ.
Good. That check good? Good. Okay, go ahead. Steve?
Steve.
All right, Jace?
Check, check. 1, 2, check, check. One,
we got a bit of a shine off the top of your bean there, buddy, so we got to calm that thing down a little bit. Anybody got any shoe polish there? Okay, and last but not least, the man on the very end.
Check 1, 2. Check.
Yeah, thanks. Thanks. You guys are very talkative, so you got to remember this is like up close and personal. You get to talk. There you go. All right, guys, let's have a chance to talk with you guys. Thanks very much for coming up close and personal, and hopefully you have a chance to see it up on the screens there, folks. Think of some questions for these guys. Let's start things off. The week has not gone the way you wanted to go. Okay, it's been a real tough week. Tell me what it's like out on the ice. A lot of great competition out there. Take it from there and tell me how your week has gone from your perspective. Russ?
Well, it's kind of the way you expected it in a lot of ways. We first of all, we've had a lot of fun. The ice is great and the crowds are amazing. I can't believe how knowledgeable the people are in the crowd. They come up and tell us what I'm doing wrong all the time. And
yeah, but do you listen to them? Like, honest to God, do you say, you know what, you were right, I'm sorry, I should have done this, you know? I'm sure this guy's going to everybody's going to give an opinion.
Well, but that's the neat thing. Like, we're from Eastern Canada, and you don't get that. You really don't. It's really refreshing, even though they might point out what we're doing wrong more than we want to hear it. It's kind of nice. But as far as the week goes, we had Martin beat, and I ticked a guard in the ninth end, or we were 3 up instead of tied. 3 up instead of 1 down, actually. And then Kevin Cooey made an unbelievable shot to beat us today. So we knew what to expect. These guys can play.
Yeah, okay, James, what were you going to say?
Well, you were saying all the advice he's getting. I've been giving him advice for about 8 years, and he hasn't listened to anything I had to say yet. So I don't know why he'd start now.
Let's go to the front end. Jason, what about yourself? How are you feeling with everything that's going on here?
Here in Yorkton, it's been awesome. Had a sort of a great time in Calgary, and wasn't expecting the turnout here in Yorkton has been fantastic. The arena looks awesome. The crowd, the patch, fantastic.
Now, did you find a little bit of going from the Briar right to this event? Is that a tough little transition for you guys? Because I know you do, when you're back home, you do Bonspiels like almost every weekend for a couple of months. But going from something as big as the Briar to this event itself, which is a very important event if you're trying to acquire the points to be able to come back and into Edmonton in December, is it a tough transition to go from one to the other?
Absolutely. It's the Briar's exhausting. You've got the time change. You've got 11 games, an hour of practice, the hot shots. You throw rocks every morning between games. It's very, very tiring, and you kind of want to let down, and you can't. All of a sudden, we're on another airplane. We're here, so poor excuse, but yeah, it's very tiring.
Now, do you guys go back, and are you going back home to New Brunswick? Do you turn around, come back out to Victoria for the next event that's in a couple of weeks?
No, actually, we're looking forward to a little break after this. I know Russ is the one that never gets a break. He has the Canadian Senior Championships coming up on Saturday, so he'll be late for that. He's late for everything anyway, but he'll be late for that. So he's the busy one of all of us for sure.
Is that who keeps everybody in time then? You're saying Russ is late. Is he the guy that's the straggler you're always waiting for? Oh, Jason, you were
No.
You keep everybody in line, or are we waiting for you all the time?
No, we couldn't find him 10 minutes ago. You were there.
Yeah, I know. He's a beacon walking through the crowd, though, I'm telling you.
Well, it's like he's never hard to find. That's the good news.
That's the easiest part about it all. But it's interesting to be able to see this, because the one thing about the Canada Cup is that, and it's a really kind of a cool idea, is that we have the men's and women's teams together. It's almost like doing the Worlds, and they split that back about, 2005, I think they split it back then. But it's really great opportunity to see the men's and women's teams out here in one venue at the same time. And that's kind of something that you don't really, I guess you do with some Bonspiels, you have a chance to see the women's teams out there, but for most people out there, they don't have a chance. You like this concept of the Canada Cup? You think that's a great idea?
There's women's teams here? There's women's teams?
You haven't noticed the women's teams?
I didn't notice that.
Jeez, you should sit on the boards there, big guy, sometime.
Once you hit 50, you stop noticing, don't you?
Oh, then we're getting in the age group here.